Yaakov also is a far.
3 cups of coffee this morning, so I'm only half asleep.
We are up to the Midah HaShi'is, the 9th Midah in the Tomer Devorah, which is called Vesashlich Bemtzulos Yam Kol Chatosam. It's the more popular part of the pasuk because we all do tashlich, or we don't do tashlich, but we know about tashlich on Rosh Hashanah, and this tashlich, this idea of tashlich, whatever it means, maybe one of the benefits of this is we'll figure out what that means, throwing your averes into the water. But this is the pasuk. It's a pasuk in Micha that one of the midos of Hashem is Vesashlich Bemtzulos Yam Kol Chatosam, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu throws into the wild sea, Bemtzulos Yam Kol Chatosam, all of their sins. It's a strange concept. What does it mean? I have to say that this, for those that are here, I'm glad you're here. This is very high level. This particular Mita is very high level, sophisticated, in some way almost frightening stuff. But this is the real under the hood back room, like how things work from Shemayim, and we have to work it through. So, like every part of Tomer Devorah, there's the theological aspect of it, like what is HaKadosh Baruch Hu doing, and then there's how that applies to us and Rabbi Haber. But what we're saying is that let's just think about it. The first thing that comes to mind: Hashem throws our sins into the sea. Now we're not talking about does that take the place of tshuva? Like forget Rosh Hashanah, forget Yom Kippur, forget Elul, tshuva. Just go to the water and cast your bread. Obviously that's not what it means. I mean, if it means that, then it would be that would be connected all the Ikrei Hadas of Yiddishkeit. That where is the forgiveness there? What are we doing there? And apparently, it's such a strong minhag that we're in that sense we're emulating HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What's HaKadosh Baruch Hu doing on Rosh Hashanah afternoon? He's doing tashlich. Vesashlich Bemtzulos Yam Kol Chatosam. What does it even mean? For the Baal Shem Tov, they tell the story that when he went to the famous river there at Mezhebush, and he took some bread out of his pocket, and he threw it in all the Hasidic bread to grab it.
You're right. If you're going to sin, you might as well have the Rebbe's.
They wanted their other Rebbe's averes. I hear that. I think I'd be jumping for it too. So says the Tomer Devorah as follows. These 3 words, it doesn't say by any of the other of the midos of Hashem. Zu midah tova l'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is a midah tova for Hashem. We presume that Hashem is good midos, and it's all midah tova. But this is what I believe he means. Zu midah tova. This is beyond. Meaning it's not. There's no logical reason for what we're going to learn. This is strictly a midah tova. It's not. There's no din here that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to do this. This is strictly a midah tova, an extra measure of beauty and chesed and midah and tova. Let's just call it what it is, tova, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing. Shaharei Yisrael chatu. Let's say Klal Yisrael does a chet. What happens when Klal Yisrael does a chet? Bisara biyad para. We end up being avadim in Mitzrayim. B'shavu b'tshuva. And then we do tshuva. Vayishma Hashem es shavosam. Right? Hashem heard their cry. Took a couple hundred years, and we started to do tshuva. Okay, so what's happening so far in the story? What's happening is Klal Yisrael went to Mitzrayim, this week's parsha, with Yosef. We began to assimilate. As we began to assimilate and become part of the Egyptian culture, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to, we needed to do tshuva. And Paro was the shaliach for us to do tshuva. New way of looking at it. Paro was the shaliach for us to do tshuva, Nebuchadnezzar was the shaliach for us to do tshuva, and Hitler was the shaliach for us to do tshuva. Does that in any way exonerate Paro, Sisera, Nebuchadnezzar, Hitler, whoever it was?
No way.
Chen Sancherev, V'chein Habad, V'doimehem. They're all there to get us to do tshuva. So in that sense, they're a shaliach Hashem. Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'snachem bilvad loiber shavu v'tshuva im kein lo yelav oidra. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu's reaction to our doing tshuva could be that the program worked. Klal Yisrael was going off the derech. Individuals would go off the derech. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends a shaliach to whip us back into shape. We get it back into shape, and you're back out of the derech. I love you now. Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu misnachem loiber shavu b'tshuva im kein lo yelav odra. Okay, Beseder, I get rid of Paro now. I take him off your back. He disappears from your life. Get out of my face. Im kein, if that was what was going on, he's talik Hamad me'aleim. Okay, so move Hamad to another project. Now I'm going to kill the Kurds. Now I'm going to another project. Oy Paroi, oy Sancher. Zan lo yaspik. That's not what's going on. Ela yashuv amal Haman al roishay. How did Haman die? He died on Mordechai's tree. Hashem kumul al roishay. He received not just an oinish, but a very direct, targeted onesh, which made it absolutely clear to all of history that Haman's onesh came from being Mitzar, the Jewish people. So we have v'chein Paroi, v'chein Sancher. So we have here first of all on the sort of superficial level, you have an issue of Bechira, like what does it mean? On the most simple level, without getting into Tomer Devorah and where he's going is a very deep Kabbalistic place, but just on the simplest level, like if some guy goes ahead and kills someone, terrorist, kills someone, so he's a Shaliach Hashem. That's what we believe. So if he's a Shaliach Hashem, what are we shooting him for? He's a Shaliach Hashem. So the simple pshat is that it gets into the question that the Rambam poses as to if Hashem knows the outcome and he's driving here the whole program of the world, so then what free choice does anybody really have? So for this they say, probably Pshat, the Rambam, and the Raiva, they're all arguing about this, but from a philosophical point of view, the Vilna Gaon, this Vilna Gaon you won't find inside anything that the Vilna Gaon wrote, but there's a Messiah that from the Vilna Gaon that the Welt says over, and this is a big brisker vart to say for the Kabbalah for the Vilna Gaon that he told the Rechai Volozhin, that the way they say it in Yerushalayim is every bullet has its address. So that means that's a Yerushalayim bitui, which means that person X, lo yaleinu, is going to be hurt, is min hashamayim. Says the Goy, even the stone that's going to be used to hurt that person was destined and created min hashamayim. That's we're not talking yet about Bechira. That's Hanasa. Hashem has this cheshbonos we can't even begin to understand these cheshbonos. It would be gaiva to try to understand these cheshbonos. I have to tell you that I think that all these speakers that are running around telling us that we did this wrong and that wrong, I'm sure bi'ikarot, it's true we did something wrong, but nobody knows what we did wrong. Somehow it's always the women. Poor women, the Nashim Tzidkanias and Harnov that are supporting their husbands sitting and learning is their fault. It's almost absurd, But why do we even feel compelled to come up with some kind of it's because of this, it's because of I speak to no. Of course we have to do tshuva. Of course we have to do tshuva. But the point is that this person is the carbon min hashamayim. Hashem's cheshbonos, we don't know. That stone was destined for such min hashamayim. Who's going to throw the stone? That's bechira chavshus. That's where free choice comes in. That's what the guide says. It's remarkably deep. There's many stone throwers. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu's masbid, and what he's saying with his one word is he's touching up 100 Gemaras. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu masbid oisai lapunda kachas. The Gemara talks like this. That you're going to be exactly there, and he's going to be exactly. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, is there a killer here in the room that wants to kill somebody? Here's your chance, because I'm not going to let you kill somebody who's not supposed to be killed. But if there's a killer here and you want to go to Gehenna, so kill the guy and go to hell. That's the way the whole thing works. So if Klal Yisrael,
because Rabbi doesn't know the stone thrower is going to throw it,
whether he knows or not is unimportant. That's what Bechira is. There are many people that could throw the stone, but maybe he knows it's going to be this or that. I don't know. I can't presume to know the answer to that. But it doesn't. It's not a fait accompli. That's the point. See, like you're at a different point a little bit. The guy can't come to court and say, "Look, this is a bit of shamayim that you have to get killed, and I have to kill you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have succeeded, would I?"
No one doesn't contradict bechira. The knowledge of something doesn't contradict.
That's right. You still were both there to do it. You were the one. And your kavanah wasn't as such either. You see, the let's say a shaliach based in goes ahead and terminates someone's life, so you're doing a mitzvah. That's your kavanah, and you have to make sure that's your kavanah.
So we can also the same way the opposite, that if a person's supposed to make money, it come from anywhere. Like, it doesn't have to come from this person, anybody can give them money or parnas. Like, is it just like rock? It's also tov. That a person's supposed to get tov, and we don't. It's bechira chavshi. Who's going to give them the tov?
Like pana el rahavim. Rashi says at the beginning of this week's parsha, right? If Yosef's going to get out of jail, he's going to get out of jail. What's he being obsessed here with the Egyptian guy? So the Egyptian, right? So, but don't get too complicated for me because I'm jet lagged. The nekuda here is that Paro had a job to do, and his job was to get Klal Yisrael to do tshuva. It doesn't exempt him from being a mamzer, because there are many people in the world that would have been happy to do this job, and it doesn't,
But Paro was in a position, he was the melech, so he was in a sense the only person who could do what he did, because he's the melech, he has ultimate power. And I was going to also with Hitler, that he was a nothing, and yet the course of events led to him to become.
But that was his choice. In other words, he was bocher in a final solution, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him kilu the siyata d'shmaya to do that. That's the the people in ISIS that are walking around decapitating people are not in any position of malchus. They're just rishayim. It's at a rotzeach in Tel Aviv or in Manhattan. There's also not a so the bechira is such. It's a very So Paro, it's mazkir, the Gemara. The Gemara says that at the end of days, the nations are going to come one by one. The Babylonians, the Romans, the Persians. They're going to come one by one in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Is the Kol Masha Asinu, L'chvaytcha Asinu. We helped Klal Yisrael at the end. And even deeper, not only if we punished them, that was your yad, but we built them also bridges, and we also, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to them, no, whatever you did for yourself. You didn't do to do by ratzon or to, like you were no shliach based in over here. So what's their meshugah taina? Because when you come to the olam ha'emes, it's taka true. You see that everything we did was bashert. When you come to the olam ha'emes. So Paro is standing in the Olam HaEmes, and he's saying, look, on my side, I did a good thing. But Hashem says to him, that was not your kavanah b'chlal. Leave that job for someone else. We don't need to be. listen, we don't need to be punishing individuals. You deserve it. That's not our derech. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to punish them. He'll find himself harbe shluchim l'makom. Harbe shluchim l'makom.
There has to be a person also.
Hmm?
There have to be a person. The disease could be an earthquake,
That's
could
correct.
be fire, could
That's
be
correct.
the Black Plague.
Chaseret HaKadosh Baruch Hu ways to get a
Right.
person to do
There has to be a
tshuva.
human.
Could be a trip and fall too. Could be your own.
Or a good thing. It could be a good thing if we have to do tshuva. It could be a good thing. So there's so much going on here. We didn't even start because there's so much here to think about just even on level one. In terms of the things that happen, and this is something that I myself was struggling with. It's clear to me if you read the Chumash. It's clear to me that it's clear to me the whole Toichacha that is all tachas asher lo yavanatos Hashem. It's for sure it's a result. But bad things that happen are a result of bad things. But that it doesn't, and therefore, when a person finds themselves in a difficult matzav, whether it's a personal thing or a national thing, so the right answer is tshuva. At the same time, I'm just repeating, I don't think that there's too many Nevi'im around that can tell you that this is what you did wrong. I can't tell you how many people ask me, I'm not anything. Certainly not a Navi. I don't have a Ruach HaKodesh. How many people ask me, why is this happening to me? And my answer is always the same thing. If anybody knows the answer to that, it's you. I don't know if anybody knows the answer, but anybody knows the answer. It's going to be a person knows what they do right and what they do wrong, and a person knows their bita keneged bita. So that might be permissible. That's what the Chumash is telling us to do. Make a cheshbon hanefesh as to why you think ma zois asali elikim, asali elikim. To start pasking for other people, why is Hashem doing that to you? I think it's just criminal. I'm making a big deal about this because that's what everybody's doing. I just think that we're not thinking.
Finger pointing.
Yeah, we're not thinking. And maybe it's you. Who knows? Who knows? A person can only make their own cheshbon on left. I don't believe it. If you look at the big Gedolim, they don't do this. The real Gedolim didn't do this. Is it kapara? We have to do tshuva, beseder. What's the shiloh? That's shtei shel chumash. But it's because of the tznius. It's because everyone has to be mekabel Shabbos 10 minutes earlier. That B'nai Torah are being axed to death because I wasn't mekabel Shabbos. It's absurd. And I know myself whether that's my issue. I'm not mafresh challah with kavanah. It's not normal, and it's the wrong thing. It's grabbing onto some kind of finding some kind of a reason, particularly when somebody else did it. It makes us feel better, but it's not what it's all about. I was like Rabbi Yaacov.
It's the same thing should apply if you want to punish a child.
If you want to punish it.
Yeah, if I don't punish a child, somebody else may hit him, or so it should be the same level. Then I guess I should punish him because it's not me. Then somebody else. I mean, is that how far does this go? That if a person gets some tsaros?
It's clear in the Rambam that brought in Shulchan Aruch that if a person is like an angry person and you take it out on your kid, even if your kid did something wrong, it's a huge avera.
I'm saying,
So I'm going to yell at my kid or hit my kid because I'm a monster, even if the kid deserves it. Like this speak to me, I just hit him. He knows what he knows. Yeah, I don't know why I hit him, but he knows what he did wrong. He'll figure it out.
we just said that Hashem's not going to punish him. The first time he gets damned, it hurts, unless he deserves it. So it's like me saying that I feel I want to slap my child. So if I don't slap my child, somebody else may slap my child.
Right, but it's hard.
So
it's hard to. Okay, so therefore what?
So maybe I should do
hard
it.
to say katana.
I should maybe do it because maybe I'll be more rachem or.
If at the end of the day you punish your child, so that means your child is supposed to be punished, but it doesn't exempt you from doing the wrong thing if your kavanah wasn't 100% right. I always tell a story of a short time in my life. I was a prison chaplain, so most of my education in jail. but I had a lot of goyim, that were claimed they were Jews, because they wanted me to be their chaplain. They liked me better than the priest. And they thought the kosher food was better, and they didn't want to have to do work on Lag Bomer and things on the red letter days of the Jewish calendar. But I remember asking, there was a standard thing, like what are you in for? So someone tells me rape. So I said, rape? So he says, yeah. He says he's walking down the street, and he's walking in this back alley, and there's this woman screaming, rape, rape, rape. So I helped. help, rape. I helped. So he's telling me like a joke about his whole life. So the point is that he it was kind of funny. I thought it was funny, but the idea is like he's somehow in his mind excusing himself for doing what needed to be done, and so many of these demons, do exactly. The son of Sam, who I actually had the dubious privilege of meeting, who was a serial killer in New York. Like he saw himself as a shaliach Hashem. Babish heard voices from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and this has to kill this one, he has to kill that one, he has to, he was like a gentle guy. He was the guy who worked at the post office that used to walk all the women to their cars so nobody should bother them. He was the gentle guy that everybody trusted. It goes out, he's like a serial killer. Her voices, like so that's the like kind of level one of this whole of this whole story. So what happens over here? Paro and Sancheiriv and Haman, etc. When Klal Yisrael does tshuva, okay, go home. Your job is done. Go home. Like nothing. Haman, get on with it. Run the Persian Empire. That's not what happens. Zen lo yaspik. Yashiv Haman al Roshay. Haman gets his onesh, and not just his onesh, a direct onesh. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't just put him there for a purpose and then take him away. He puts him there for a purpose, and then he punishes him for fulfilling the mission which he was created to do, because you didn't have to be the one to be bocher on the simple one. So that's why he gets his onesh. Comes to Tomer Devorah, we can just get a start on this. He comes to Tomer Devorah and he says, it's more than that as to why Haman gets his punishment. It's not just because he was bocher bara. Vahatam, let's read the words and see. Vahatam lan hagazu hu besod. This comes from the sod. Why does Haman get killed? Comes from the sod of Nasa Hasair Alav Eskol Avonoisam Al Eretz Gezerah. This is the Sa'ir Hamashtalech. Upeiru Shoy Shahasair Noisei Avonois Mamish. Zakashavai V'chi Yisrael Chatu Ba'asair Noisei. Again, what's happening here on Yom Kippur? What's happening is Klal Yisrael, individuals, the nation, you do your chatoim in the course of a year. Comes Yom Kippur, Asar Shevet Tshuva, you do Tshuva. You say Vidui. You change. We know everything about Tshuva. We know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mahapech your averis into either shkagos or mitzvahs, depending on the level and the degree and the sincerity of your Tshuva. We know Hashem is makabel our tshuva. So Hashem is makabel our tshuva. Salachti ki dvarecha. That's what Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu. Salachti ki dvarecha. So and then we also know that Yom Kippur has this kind of a skula. We know, but it's hard to understand. She'etzem hayom b'chaper. Somehow, just Yom Kippur in your sleep has some kind of a cleansing effect on the Jewish people. So for what is this Sa'ir Hamishtalech? The Kohen takes two goats, and he does a gorel, says the Chumash. Gorel achad la'Hashem, and gorel achad la'Azazel. One of them is la'Hashem, and one of them is la'Azazel. The one that's la'Hashem gets a carbon, it gets shechted, and that's la'Hashem. And the other one is Nasa as Avonos B'nai Yisrael El Eretz Gezerah. He's carrying the sins. Understand what kind of responsibility? He carries the sins of Bnei Yisrael, gets pushed off a cliff, and dies with the sins with him. First of all, Bishvil Mazeh. Like, while we're here, I just want to mention, like Rav Hirsch writes that this is an interesting aspect of life because here you have these two goats. Put yourself in their position, in the goat's position. So one of them gets taken right away, shefted. The other one says, "Boy, I'm lucky. Yeah, I'm taking a walk. It's Gezerah. Like I'm free." He doesn't realize he's the Sarah of Lazos. Okay, go on. So says Hirsch.
Why not throw him into the water?
Throw him into the water. What does it do? What is the accomplishment of throwing a goat off a mountain full of the averos of Klal Yisrael? If we did tshuva, we did tshuva. We're talking about a Kadosh Baruch Hu's mechaper us. We said vidui. Everything we're supposed to do, we did. If we didn't do it, do it. Yom Kippur itself is mechaper. And yet, even in our Yom Kippur davening, we say to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yom Kippur davening, Hayoy, Ein Lanu Karban, Ein Lanu Sayer, Ein Lanu, we don't have all of these things. Another side kasha is, why do we bring a Sayer La Hashem? Just take one and throw it off a mountain. If that's the issue, somehow that's the issue. So this, says the Tomer Devorah, which doesn't explain anything, is a kiyum of Vesashlich Bemtzulos Yam Kol. This is a pshat in Haman getting killed. That there's something about, I'll just say it in my words and then we'll learn it inside in a very, very deep and complex way. Let me just say it simply the way I understand it. And that is that, okay, you do an Aveira, you do Tshuva, I got that Aveira kind of like off me, but it's there. It's there somewhere. It's a mashchus. It's there. You brought a negative energy into the world. The Haber is there. True, I did tshuva. So, understand it as Beseder. I went to the mikvah. I was retired myself. Where went that tumah? Who told you it disappeared? Everything that we do in this world is either bringing good stuff into the world or bringing negative stuff into the world. So what happens to the negative stuff? So the job is not complete. That just because we do tshuva, we might be somewhat exempt or exonerated from the Eilish government that's coming at us, but that mashchis is still in the world, and whatever that means, that might be a very dangerous thing. So the mashchis, the avera is there, the chet is there. So one of the avodas of the Kohen Gadol is that he takes these averos that were washed off, asher rachas es benos tziyon. He takes the averos that were washed off of the benos tziyon, he puts it al rosh hasoyer ha'echad, and he sends it la'azazah. So there's another part to this that we're not even thinking about. There's the Tomer Devorah, the killing of Haman, the killing of Parah, the killing of Sancherib and Nebuchadnezzar, and all of that oinish that these Rishoyim get, beyond what the Rambam says, well, you were Bocher Bara, you didn't have to be the stone thrower, you didn't have to be the afflictor, beyond that. You are the mashchis that was created. Is that just Parah was Bocher, according to the Ramak? That Parah was created and then was Bocher as some kind of a son, some kind of a Malach Ra, or as he calls it, the Samach Mem, like some type of a Malach Ra. And that Malach Ra Beseder, it's not just, okay, finish your job, now Parah, get on with your running your government over here with the Egyptian Empire. There are no Egyptians anymore. The Egyptians don't exist anymore. That's why there are no Romans anymore. The Italians that are making pizza are not the Roman Empire. It's not there are no Greeks anymore. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you did your job. You did a terrible thing. You were machrim the Beis Hamikdash. You're a mashchis, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes that mashchis and he destroys it. We still don't. I'm not pretending to understand the significance of it, but I just know the mechanics of it. And you go. V'atabla al hagazu, the pshat in Hakadosh Baruch Hu's hanhaga of hanging Haman, who did the shlichus Hashem from the tree that Mordechai was supposed to be hung from, who beside v'nasa hasayer olav es kol avodosav al eretz k'teira. That's the sign of it. U'peirushai shahasayer noisei avodos mavish. Think about it. Sayer noisei avod. That sayer is carrying something on its head. It's carrying something on its head.
Haman is a Sayer?
Haman is this, or being carried by the Sayer.
His dying is our kapara? Not that he's making us
No,
trouble.
no.
His dying is getting rid of the mashchus. No, we did shuvah.
Avonos, he's carrying them on.
Right. In other words, there's a shirayim of avonos. Klal Yisrael in Persia assimilated, did chatoyim, did shuvah. Where's Haman? So the story of the Megillah is not over yet until Haman, v'gam charvonos until Haman and Mixon, until they get theirs. They have to get theirs, and if they don't get theirs, that's still there's still this negative aspect. So v'nasa hasayer, I don't know if that he's the sayer, I don't know, or v'nasa hasayer avodos. The sayer is that which carries Haman to a place of oblivion. He's no more, yeah.
It's the La'azazel that carries.
Yeah. What's the sayer la'Hashem?
It's not La'azazel, but it's the Sar La'azazel that can then carry it. Not once it's brought La'azazel.
Well, what's the sayer is carrying it and taking it la'Azazel.
Could also
Azazel, by the way, Azazel is what's Azazel? It's a place of nothing. It's a place of oblivion. Vacuum.
It's the anti.
It's not the anti. It's the black hole where things can cease to exist. There's such a metzius which is not existent in the scientific world of something that can actually cease to exist. It's
Zaz,
like
Zaz, it's moved. It's moved.
no.
Take.
I don't think that's a share. Maybe I don't think it's a sherish of a
Zaz.
yeah, but there's definitely an L in there.
So Haman also sees
Isus L. Let's say like this that Loyal somebody has cancer. The medical team gets rid of. They operate. They do chemo. They get rid of the tumor. Is that enough? We know it's not enough. There's something that caused the tumor to happen to begin with, and there's always that sikun that as clean as the person might be, God forbid, that it could come back. Not because the tumor is gone, but there is something there, whether it's genetic or whether it's the toxins that is, there's something there, whoever you want to blame on it, which causes l'chatchila. Who's to say that it's not going to cause it statistically? It can. It does. I'm not here to be the bearer of bad news, but statistically, all clean is all clean. So we got rid of the problem, but we didn't get rid necessarily of something deeper there. That I don't think is beyond basar v'dam. Maybe nutritionists, maybe there's another mahalach, but it's not about a surgical knife. So what's it just carrying that over to the world of averos? There's the sayer la'azazel, which is dealing with that part of it. It's taking the avonos that we've done shuvah and we're not connected to them anymore. But when a person does a good thing, bara malach achas. So says the Gemara. You're bringing a malach into this world, which is time. Good things are happening all over the world. Good things are happening when you do a mitzvah. It's not something we just tell kids. It's Yisodos in Torah. When a person does a chesed, you brought chesed into the world. There's more chesed in the world. That chesed can come out in Japan. It can come out in how high the waves are in the tsunami. The chesed that you do brings chesed. The ra that a person does is goyer ra into this world. The shas is full of this. Shas is full of it. and it's very it's very basic in Chazal that the whole Roman Empire was created because of Chet. Everything is Chet. That's clear. So now the question is, okay, you do tshuva. That's the purpose, but we have to get rid of the thing itself. Let me just have 5 minutes here. Let me just
could be on a very simplistic level too. That say the Sila Azazel and these other things, the killing of Haman and all these other Rashayim, that the tzibor needs to see something physical to complete the tshuva. They need to see.
How does that make me do more tshuva?
But I mean, to internalize the completion of the tshuva. They've done their tshuva and what have you, and they see the rasha is gone, the red cord is turned white, what have you.
Because that happens first, though.
Look, you're right. I mean, like the Jews turned around and they saw the Egyptians Beis Sfas Hayam.
They celebrated.
Dead Egyptians on the beach. You know, let's make a kiddush. That's sing shira. Beseder, it's closure.
Right. But I'm saying
there's closure, but that's
not on a deep level, but it's part of the process.
For sure. But the deeper thing is, it didn't have to be necessarily. The Yam could have closed, and they could have changed their mind and say, "The heck with the Jews, let's go further," and just go back. Would have to be Beis Sfas Hayam? But the answer is Soyer Lazosa. That's the answer. Let me read to you something here. This is by Tomer Devorah. This particular edition has at the bottom the Chidah. And in the Chidah, the great Makubal, he quotes from the Sefer Karan or Pnei Moshe. Karan or Pnei Moshe is a Sefer actually written by the Tomer Devorah, by Rav Moshe Cordevaro, who wrote the Tomer Devorah too. So this is can't get better than his own Pirush on it, but I wouldn't know it except for the Chidah brings it. I wouldn't know that either except for this quote in this Sefer. V'zelu Shoyna. This is the lashon of Rav Moshe Cordevaro in the Karan or Pnei Moshe. Isa b'Yalkut Nachum. Right, Yalkut Shivot is on the whole Tanakh. If you look at Sefer Nachum, that's pretty. Rebbe's Tavkuf Samach Aleph. He brings the pasuk v'rachabav al kol ba'asav. Rachabav al kol ba'asav. Toiv Hashem lakol. V'rachabav al kol ba'asav. V'hiksha v'hutabua ki akol ba'asav. Does he chaka have rachabim? What does it mean? V'rachabav al kol ba'asav. The Egyptians died on the beach. What's the v'rachabav al kol ba'asav? That's his kasha, I presume. But we ask him. So this is the point that the Rabbak says. When a person does a chet, the chota through his chet creates a destructive force, a bashkis. And when he does tshuva, misbatel habashkis, he's mevatel the bashkis. Good. Lo yivtzar. When it comes to being mevatel the bashchis, it's not unlikely. Ki bihigia eis bekudasai habashchis hahu yatzalitay shelo yivatlei. The bashchis say, "What are you destroying me for?" No creation wants to be destroyed. Do we want to be destroyed? We're just creations. No creation likes being destroyed. It's when you for nothing pull out a plant from the ground, it has tinus. So no creation wants to be destroyed. So the mashchis has a taina, don't destroy me. He did tshuva, Messiah did tshuva, but what's will stuff and beer? What are you destroying me for? So Abnab about tshuva b'shagam yizkil abaylos yardois. It's true that the Baal Tshuva is soaring now, right? He's the tzaddik. He's becoming the Gadol Hador. But the bashchis yotzer loy me'abashchis shenivrah al yedei shukayim. Nevertheless, the bashchis is still there. Not only that, the bashchis is taking credit for the tzaddik. He destroyed me. Look what I did over here. Look what I created over here. So Rabbi Yaakov, it's like your bashal, so, well, not like your bashal, I shouldn't say it. But, let's say a person abuses a child. And therefore, the kid becomes an overachiever, a wonderful, okay, right, you do Kehillat Shivtei, something is like, I need to succeed, I need to become very successful. So, now the person goes back, he says, look, I did a good thing. Did he? Did he do a good thing? No, he did a bad thing. But he's taking credit. But who, Bechasta Yisbarach, Ki B'shuva Choytet Shuva Shleva Levatel Habashchus Ahu V'loi Sekubel Taidasei. So what happens is it's the taida of the bashchus is not accepted. Or Toim Hashem Lakol Yochel Gam LeBashchus, says the Medrash, Shenivra B'Koyach Hachet. Tabalaiber B'Racham Aval Kol Ba'asav. Listen to the beautiful. Hashem says, I have Racham Aval Kol Ba'asav on everything I've created. I didn't create this bashchus, you created the bashchus. So Racham Aval Kol Ba'asav, meaning if I made it, I'm taking responsibility, I'm giving the warranty. I'll take our patience on this and that. A bashchis is something. Look how powerful we are. These bashchis, there's all kinds of malachim. There's the ones we created, the ones Hashem created. The malachim and the bashchisim, and for that matter, the good things that we created are ours. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have rachmanus on them. He could destroy them. Is that by Ma'aseh? Is that by so? Rachel Kabbaist Ubruav rather Shabar Yisbarach Midas Harachim Achabashkus Nivra B'Koyach Hachet Beidoi B'Maisav Yisbarach Ulchein Eidoi Toiv Loi Ubevatloi. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ubevatloi. But that's just another insight that HaKadosh Baruch Hu can take the mashchisim of this world and destroy them. Again, we have to get back to that's a side point. Back to the main point, which we'll continue on Sunday, is that because we're only beginning to understand that this is the pshat in the Soyer HaMishtalech, and this is the pshat in the enemies of Klal Yisrael being shamefully destroyed, meaning to their shame, destroyed. And this is even the pshat, as he says later, that after after a shaliach beistin would kill somebody who's chayim misa, he has to take that stone or that sword and he has to bury it. It can't be right. It is a bashchus. It becomes a bashchus. He has to destroy it, which is such a interest into the mitzvah. But it was b'nai shamayim, but it played its role.
Yet the individual continues to live. The shaliach beisin.
Shaliach beisin in that case, because he's lishma, because the sword gets it. The sword gets it, because in that case it wasn't his befir. He didn't get an order for it. So these are the elements here which we just need to start understanding.